Good morning or good morning to the whole wonderful. Plea I have a question how much in what direction are we influenced from the root of our soul only in the direction of the end of correction, meaning it guides us along the way as well. Yes. Thank you from the exert to reach the pleasure, the sublime greatness. The question is, I understand it's not some personal pleasure, rather where we altogether ascend not just Israel, but also are the world, nations of the world, or will it somehow be revealed? Also, personally, you should work according to how you're being taught, and don't jump head forward, it won't help you, it simply motivates. On one hand, we have to work without reward, and not to think about theirs. Some are pleasure that's ready for us, you have to work without reward, or with a reward, which is the acquisition of the spiritual qualities are next, except from Basim out of the article, what is the measure of faith in the Rav? One must trust the opinion of his Rav and believe what his Rav tells him. It means that one should go as his Rav told him to do, though he sees many arguments and many teachings that do not go hand in hand with the opinion of his Rav. He should nevertheless trust the opinion of his Rav. Again, one must trust the opinion of his Rav. Friends, dear Word CLE Creator, we are in Shabbat in the first lesson following the Congress, and we're the representatives of the 10PT1, and we received the privilege of preparing this preparation, and we are very excited, very ready to bring all the force that we now received in the Congress and advance onwards to our next degree of connection. So let's prepare our hearts and enter together into contact with the light. Get a source. Exert. There is a special power in the adhesion of friends, since the views and thoughts pass from one to the other through the adhesion between them, hence each one is incorporated with the powers of the other, and by that each one has the power of the whole society. Therefore, although each person is an individual, he has the power of the whole society. Again, Rush, there is a special power in the adhesion of friends, since the views and thoughts pass from one to the other through the adhesion between them, hence each one is incorporated with the powers of the other, and by that each one has the power of the whole society. Therefore, although each person is an individual, he has is the power of the whole society. Question for an active workshop: how can we use the force we received in the Congress to advance even more in the connection between us? Again, how can we use the force we received in the Congress to advance even more in the connection between us? Please, we really did receive a great force in the Congress. We have to add everything into a new like that. We are building the Creator as if gave us the opening of the degree, and now we have to strengthen in the connection between us in the lesson, in everything. We have to realize this degree. We are continuing in the same direction now, and now especially in the lesson. Just like in the Congress, we leave aside outside the door all the thoughts about myself, and we cultivate and increase the thoughts about love of friends and the love of the Creator. We truly stabilize this degree, this inclination within us. The video. This is exactly our task now. The Congress was like a springboard, like a booster where all the tens are recharged, and now we realize, now we have the lesson every day. It's a mini Congress where we can go deeper. We can strengthen the connection between us in the 10, open our hearts more, bring the friends into the hearts, and bring this connection to the whole world. Yes, every friend received a power in the Congress, every 10 received power. Now we have to give this power back into our society, into the tents. Every friend should give power to his T and lead the 10, give the greatness of the goal, and also as a 10 we should give forces and an example to the other T. Also, we can say that what we received in the Congress is a certain level of connection, and now sort of have to hold it between us and ask the Creator for help, ask the Creator to be able to go deeper into it in advance. Yes, every time we receive forces, it's only noted to give forces, otherwise we're also not given forces. So indeed we received a boost of our importance, and we have to continue to receive it, and also to give it to the friends, to the whole world through dissemination. This is our whole way, and we should use it as much as possible to give contentment to the Creator. Yesterday, friend in the 10 said that we come out of the Congress with deficiency because we didn't finish the job, and really, we've just begun. We now have an opportunity to put all our efforts into building a new degree of connection that is much, much deeper, and to see ourselves as longing for effort and another effort, and we're not interested in stopping. There's a feeling that a new connection was created between the friends in the tea during the Congress, and this new connection, we have to bring it to realization during the lesson also, so that the lesson will be heard by us from a different place, from a different desire that has awakened, and also in the connection between us there are new ties, more advanced ties that have been created, and we need to deepen them. Okay, friends, we concluded the Congress yesterday, but it still continues. As we see, we're sitting here in the dining hall. There's still friends here from the world. CLE, I want to introduce friends who came right at the beginning, and they, we can say, built and prepared the Congress. So let's see how they felt to build the Congress, prepare it, and then go through it, and let's see what they feel. Now, yes, it's not simple to summarize the Congress. Congress is still continuing with us, but for me, first of all, it's a feeling of a growing strong, of strengthening all of never into 110. We take this excerpt, we read, and as it was said there, I'm one of those individuals about which it is written that they took the power of the whole society of the 10, in which I was, and I will bring this up force to my regular 10, my permanent 10. As are mentioned, there was a time of what we could call a descent, but now we regathered, we've renewed forces, and we're continuing onwards. And here, of course, there are such examples of friends that simply cover any kind of ego. Yes, Alan, and I here for 10 days, and I've looked and saw that it seems like we just came yesterday. It's a moment that has passed, but a wonderful moment, because we were together. We find some new point, maybe it's still unclear, not SC scrutinized, but we see how the Congress, every Congress, gives an inner power. Something changes in you, most importantly, that we will continue. We live from one Congress to another. As soon as one ends, we are preparing for the next, and that brings great joy all the time. When you enter this room called the room of the stars, you know that you have an timetable for every second during the day, and you have no redundant thoughts. Where will you go? What are you going to do? But you have a wonderful opportunity all the time to be in thoughts about the friends, to invest in them, to create this point where we are together, and the only goal that we have is to annul ourselves and become incorporated at that point. Give forces to the friend, and at that point the stars enter the Congress. We give it with a great joy. We share that with the whole Congress. I received great inspiration from the Congress, the spirit of BB. To some extent I was able to discover and take it in from you. There's a spirit of bestow, spirit of devotion to the path, the model of society of you global brotherhood that already exists. Here, thanks to everyone for your patience, for receiving all the guests with such warmth and love. SH. Silent workshop. Let's enter a connection in one heart and feel the Creator there. Again, silent workshop. Let's enter a connection in one heart and feel the Creator there. For Shalom. Hello, everyone. We are in a lesson on the topic of continuing the convention with an ascent. We will read selected excerpts from the sources. You can find the material in the Sent Materials tab in the root system. You can also send questions if a question. Here there are microphones across the whole. Notice we don't have ushers, but notice that you pass the microphone, and if you're sitting next to your microphone, be alert for that. Of course, once you've received the microphone, stand up and ask cloud clearly into it. Our topic today is continuing the convention with innocent, we have reached very impressive results from the Congress, even though we cannot yet discover the spiritual degree that we are in, because for that we still need to attain a shield in order to receive this degree towards bestow, so that we can bestow, but it will happen soon. And what we now need to do is only to check to connect ourselves even more and try to be incorporated with each other, and in this way all of us together. The most important is the connection. So we will read selected excerpts. We'll start from SH. There are many people in the world who are not given the strength to do the holy work even in the simplest way, even without the intention and even in Lishmar, and even in preparation for the preparation of the clothing of, while he was imparted the desire and thought to at least occasionally do holy work even in the simplest possible way, if one can appreciate the importance of this according to the importance one attributes to the holy work. To that extent he should give praise and thanks for it, because it is true that we cannot appreciate the importance of being able to sometimes observe the MIT of the Creator even without any intention. In that state one comes to feel elation and joy in the art. The praise and the gratitude one gives for it expands the feelings, and one is elated by every single point in the holy work. He knows whose servant he is, and thus soars ever higher. This is the meaning of what is written, I thank you for the grace that you have made with me, meaning for the past, and by this one can confidently say, and he does say, and that you are destined to do with me. This means that as we have already gone through a few stages in our spiritual development, even though we don't feel it, like let's say a little child or a baby who is already under corporeal development, we can see it according to his body or according to his responses. We can see that he's advancing somehow in his development, but he himself is not aware of it. This is how it is with us in spirituality. We connected, we performed a few actions, and these actions are registered in our spiritual file, but we do not yet attain where we are, just like a little child who doesn't attain how old he is, or in what he is, he more from the moment that he was born, or let's say a few months later, but he doesn't know, he can't count and appreciate these few months in which he's already developing. It is the same with us. We need to relate to ourselves, to each and every one of us, that these are our friends on the path, and specifically through connection with them we will discover eventually where we are. So let's try to develop within us this sense of recognizing the friend, recognizing the society, and in such a way we will advance towards recognizing our spiritual place, where we are, and how can we use all of our forces which already exist within us. However, we cannot yet detect correctly these forces, then use them correctly, as we see with babies or small infants. Yes, move on. You can ask about whatever you want. All in all, this lesson is a general lesson. Yes. Well, bit moved. I'm sorry the Congress went through the way I feel it, like a some lighter a wave. We didn't really labor into deep scrutinies in the lesson, but the pressure from above was felt from the first minute, and after, and yesterday after the Congress, like a thick cloud of joy descended on us. So it's not clear did we somehow were privileged, or this is our alone. We'll have to pay. You won't have to give back anything. You earned it. You made a great effort to come here. We know that even coming here physically wasn't simple, and therefore everything we received, we earned it. I'm certain that we will begin to experience some greater understanding in a mutual connection between us, and we will start to rise higher and higher on the ladder of degrees that leads upwards. There's a desire to express deep gratitude for the Congress, and a question friend wanted to ask yesterday: can we increase this phenomenon if it comes? Either we live in what was in the past, or what comes naturally through the emotions. I think that for the past, for the present as well as for the future, as we read exactly now when he says, I'm grateful to you for the grace that you have made with me, meaning for the past, and by this one can confidently say, and he does say, and that you are destined to do with me, meaning I'm grateful to you for everything you've done with me in the past and for everything else that you will do from this moment onwards in the same manner. That is, we will feel a good relation, good attitude from the Creator towards us, towards all of us, without a doubt. Well, yes, from your answer I didn't understand if it's something that comes from above, or that we have to acquire some skill, that despite everything we're in, love and faith, the main problem in our world is the egoism that divides us, separates us, distances between us. In a congress we become incorporated in something that is mutual, common, and we make all kinds of movements, even artificial ones, towards each other. Clearly none of us really has love towards others. We were created just like all other created beings, therefore what we did together, the effort to gather, we by that awaken the great abundance of good from above, from the Creator, and now we need to receive this abundance within us to digest it and to continue onwards. I want to be precise. If we study this excerpt and Kabbalist W will write to us like this, then it means that it's very important to be thankful for the past, present, and future. What is the benefit if, say, the day in the meal, or even just a second, if we are thankful for past, present, future? What is so important to Kabbalists about that being in prayer? The Creator feels our response towards his actions, and if we respond correctly, for him gathering us, bringing us closer, making out of us one common desire, then through us giving gratitude for it, for the way he relates to us, we uplift his importance, his role, his value in our eyes, and by this we rewarded with an even better attitude towards us. The joy, the gratitude is actually a practical device to increase the greatness of the Creator. Yes, of course. So you say there's only two states, you either ask or you give thanks. Now I wanted to ask a long time ago. The power of that is equal to prayer as an influence from above downwards. Yes, we need to remember really well and write it down, because we will forget about it all the time. That specifically gratitude to the Creator for creating us or developing us, and for placing us between people who are like us, so that we will be able to develop in such an environment and attain him. If we don't forget about that, by this we will acquire a very serious device for our ascent all the way to the Creator's degree. Raf, thank you. What is this shield that we have to attain for it? The shield is what we can hide with away from our egoism, and when we acquire this shield against our ego, it is considered that we are rising above ourselves, and to the same extent we can be close to the Creator. That, not to lower, this is my first congress as well. I wanted to thank you first for creating this opportunity for me to be here today. My question is, I'm not in spirituality yet, since I'm new to this feeling, but the Creator has chosen me and ignited my heart and sent it to you. This is a tremendous feeling. I'm great F to the Supreme Creator of how will I keep this heart alive, and how will I not forget my heart when my ego increases, because the only power that keeps in me here in my heart without a doubt, no feeling of ours can remain forever, but rather there are ups and downs, changes in our feelings. This is why we have to try to manage these feelings, to understand them, to feel them, to see them from the outside, and in such a way we will begin to manage them, to direct them. And by that, it's not that I am under the influence of these feelings that go over me and they change, but rather I operate on them and I change them, and I live in them according to how I determine. Without us reaching such an ability with respect to our emotions, we will be like babies, like little children. That one time he cries, another time he laughs, one time he's happy, another time he's sad. He doesn't even know where it comes from, but rather he's constantly undergoing such changes. We can see how these changes also go through us, and so the first step that I now need to make is to see myself outside this wind, meaning it comes and changes from one direction to another direction, from a great force to a small force, or the other way around, but rather I'm going through these and I'm going through these changes within me, and we need, through our connection to our influence, everyone, we need to reach a state where I determine my spirit, and it's not that the spirit deter what I will be, what I will feel, what I will keep. Therefore, let us first of all make exercises not such that we will feel the power within each and everyone, so that with this power I can hold myself in my hands, and I myself can determine how I feel in the next moment. And besides that, this is how I want to determine it for my whole life. That's what I will feel, and the way that I will evaluate every moment, and how I will discover the upper force, how he influences me. It will depend only on how I relate to him, and therefore from this moment onwards I have to be aware I'm receiving influences from the Creator, and these influences depend on how I relate to them. This means that from here onwards I have the ability to hold myself in my own hands, and it's not that I'm like some piece of wood that is in a stormy sea, so that the waves throw it in all directions. Okay, holding myself with respect to the group, that I have to be connected really well together with them and influence them by my stability in spite of all the changes in the states. This is the beginning of the correct state. Okay. Yes, is it the same thing to hold myself opposite the feeling and also the work with the friends? Yes, with respect to the work with the friends, it's even more so, because I have to relate to them all the time in a good way, in helping and supporting, and it doesn't matter in what way or at what height I relate to them. Is there some difference between holding myself against the feeling of whatever comes, and with respect to how I work? This is men's work, that each one of us, if he needs to be independent, if he needs to feel that he's in the spiritual world, what are you doing there with your hand? We need to learn to understand how do we respond to the Creator, to whatever he awakens in us. Yes, how can I determine my next feeling? How can I manage the next state? I can manage the next state only by rising above how I feel, so it doesn't matter to me how I feel, but rather what is important for me is how I relate to the environment and to the Creator, and I'm concerned about supporting them, and to continue this way non-stop. What is this CLE that enables me to be independent, that gives the rightness? It's the power that I acquire because the Creator takes me through different impressions, influences, and in spite of that I hold myself as much as I understand correctly towards the direction of my development, so he puts me into different states. Yes, and I just have to relate to him all the time. Yeah, I'm not just a response, I'm responding in order to keep my direction of development on a straight line. Right, how do I maintain my progress on a straight line and not constantly moving between left and right? This is through connection with the environment. We have no other possibility when I'm connected with the environment, and I put together my forces and I bestow on them, influence them constantly. Should I flow with what the Creator puts me through, or try to go above that, against that, maintain a straight line? And how do I determine this next state of the spirits? By this you want that the Creator relation to you will remain constant, permanent. What about the work here in the 10? How do I, what is the work with the friends that helps me direct to a single straight line, that you with the friends in a constant bestow towards them? And then what when I work towards them? Yeah, how does it direct me? First of all, you operate towards them, and through them towards the Creator. So to understand, he turns to me and awakens me different states also, through the friends, through the environment, and my response needs to be through the environment towards him. Thank you. About the shield can you say that is? Said we will learn that, but actually it's correct. Connect the with the mal and part in this world, part in the upper world. Yes, and the matter of gratitude. So what happened to a person in life, the actions of the creator in a 10 in a group in the family, as work it's all surrounding light. Yes. Well, and if I could say thank you to the creator, if I could reveal his light, that would be in a light. Yes. And what we call that the CLE is first of all I know where I am, and where I need to rise. The difference between them is the CLE. Yeah, let's say. So let's say so. But this also requires corrections and change. Answers. Okay. I thank you. We heard that we need to learn how to respond correctly to the creator. Yes, on the other hand we heard we have to be thankful for the past, present and future. So how do you settle there? Two. Okay. Actually, each time we need to have such relations that we are thankful to the creator for no awakening us, and establishing us in a certain form towards their environment. That's on the one hand, and on the other hand we want to advance to the next state, closer to him, closer to the friends, and we need to realize that only in the connection with the friends, with the 10, only inside the 10, if I connect with them as much as possible, I can be calm, that I exist in spirituality and I'm growing from one stage to the next, from one moment to the next. Okay, yesterday we heard from Ra that he never sets goals, but rather always lets the creator tries to nullify more before for the creator and allow the creator to guide him to wherever needed. And here is the matter of response, and then there's also the matter of gratitude. How do we make this whole? See, seemingly the person has to nullify before the creator at all times and accept that the creator pushes him in the right direction to the right state, because we're like a baby that doesn't know how it grows up. On the other hand, we heard that a person needs to respond correctly to the creator. So how does he know what is the next step, or what's the next stage to go through? How to look for a response? He only wants one thing: to equalize himself with the environment so that he is like a piece of wood that is in the water, and then to the extent that the water goes up or down or waves pass through, there has no opportunity to change his state. And it's the same with us. We can only be connected to our environment. So what exactly is the work of this tree when the waters are sweeping it away? What's the right response of the tree? To be as little independent as possible, but rather to feel the environment and be absorbed in it. Thank you. Be assimilated in it. I wanted to continue when you opened the lesson. You said we got 2 impressive results in the Congress, but to a degree we still can't see. We are as if entering our conception or impregnation. We're now beginning our great spiritual development. I'm talking about those people who want to develop in the direction of their goal. Yes, so first you define impressive results. What are these results to you? What are you looking at? That we are like a drop of semen that was you received inside the womb. This is a great thing. We know how if we do not succeed with the natural force to enter pregnancy, then it presents a great problem, and who knows if we will succeed. So when you say we still cannot see the upper degree because we still don't have a shield, so what is that shield that enables you to see the higher degree? That you have to enter the shield is the force that we need to develop more and more all the time in each and every degree in order to be independent of the results of the degree itself, meaning that I will have a screen, and through the screen I come out of the fact that I'm in the degree. I want to strengthen it. I want to strengthen the environment. So the absorption in the upper degree, what does it manifest in? Because you said person needs to be as little independent as possible and rely on the environment. How does this happen? This ABS absorption on a higher level. The absorption happens through the combination of my forces and the forces of the degree. The degree is actually the creator. When I hold my so is to be matching and now with respect to the external forces which come from the Creator, and to be together with this degree congruent and agreeing with all the changes that come towards me, which is already considered above. And so it sounds like you to become impregnated in the Creator if He's the upper degree. Yes, this impregnation happens on to every individual, everyone, or to the extent that the 10 connects yes and no. What's yes and no? Both this and that we will actually feel it. Okay, if you can give us some action that will cause this impregnation, it's only absorption or integration in the 10. You've no better way to measure what does it mean that I've been absorbed in the 10, that I'm constantly feeling general state, which is one state for everyone. Thank you. Yes, Rob, sometimes they're feeling that the Creator enjoys not just the gratitude from us, but the truthfulness, the sincerity from of our gratitude, that it comes from where heart. How can we reach the strongest gratitude? Is it a solution for the resolution of internal contradictions and giving thanks for it? I'm afraid to answer yes or no. What do you understand under the concept of internal contradictions with respect to the group, the country within yourself? The question here is about seeing wholeness inside of me or outside. You can't do that yet, it's still far away. Us, can we see it as an indication of our progress? No indication, it will be above you. The advancement has to be with faith, above reason, against our desires and thoughts and insights. We receive everything that comes to us is a gift from the Creator, and that's it. So I have the following question: how to reach true gratitude are not through your head. Goal 1 of the goals of the Congress was to grow stronger in the 10. That was the topic of the Congress also now, according to how I spoke with the friends, and it was a very strong feeling that indeed we made preparations to grow stronger in the 10, but when we came here, a very strong force started forming here. It was like a hurricane that started to draw you into it, and it swallows you, and the feeling of focusing on the 10 gradually disappeared, and one force was created. Here many friends felt that the question is, how do you see it in terms of the goal that we had, that we decided to grow stronger in the T? Is this the peak of it? Will we see this? C, did we achieve the purpose? Will we see it later? Rob, you need to continue now. The feeling that was created of this one, many times we learn that we receive something in potential, and later we have to actually receive it. So this feeling is something that we need to see how to later reach it for our own forces, because I feel that received a gift, like a taste of something, a taste of what does it mean to exist in one force, which is our reality. There was a feeling that there is no other reality. This is the reality, and we feel it all the time when we were here. So my question is, the Creator gave us some taste, and He told us now you have to achieve this taste by your own forces. Are yes, this is good. Try. In what sense it is it good that you were set an example of what you have to reach? So we have to reach in work of the 10. Where else? Because here there was an example with many friends who came from different places. It's the same T. What does it matter? Okay, how can I hold myself by my own hands? How can I hold myself with my own hands? What does it mean, my hand on my own? That I will direct my own qualities. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Earlier you said that a person has to relate to the states that come to him and hold himself by his own hands. So how can he do it? That's actually through the environment that I connect with the 10, and along with them I want to do all kinds of actions, and after that I feel that these actions, I feel what they've done in me, and that's how I advance. I don't have any other possibility to do any kind of changes except influencing the 10, and the 10 shapes me. Then I shape the 10, and the 10 shapes me again and again, step after step. We are a virtual group and we study virtually. Now we will go home. What is your suggestion? What can we do when we go home? I recommend at home to again stay connected to some 10 that feels itself Us as something closed and connected to the Creator. That's it, and they're inside that 10 try to do all of your spiritual activity. No do this Congress some like extended our feeling to the friends. It's regarding to their spiritual fulfillment. So does it mean that I place the massac above myself and then I entering to the friend? Yes. The screen is above me. Yes, thank you very much, Rob. I want to continue the friend from before about the great force that we received in the Congress. How do we take all the friends who were here in 10 and each one received the force from the entire society? How do we continue to strengthen this force in the 10 starting tomorrow? Starting today, how do we continue to strengthen this force? You said in the Congress also that every day we have to reset ourselves. This resetting that we're talking about, it means to take this force and see how do we continue onwards. Yes, how do we do it practically? In every morning lesson that you strengthen the connection between you each and every moment. And if you missed a moment, then that's it. You've missed it. It's not going to be. The next moment is not going to be the moment that should have been. So that's it. How do we not miss out? Like you're saying, what should we do so we won't miss it? Always be in concern for the increasing connection between you. How important is it that we will come every day? I feel that there is like a compass for us, and we have to, like you said before, that we won't be going in all sides. How important is it that the prayer that we bring a common prayer every day in the 10, to what extent does it really direct us from our common work every day to come with a common prayer and pass it on to the Creator and continue with this force? Like you said, that's what should be. So not to give up on this every day, to have a common prayer every moment. Thank you, Ken. Yes, you way to the truth. On the way to the truth are moments where we shouldn't search for the truth in order to maintain a certain process of development. We search for the when we search for the truth. Are there moments in this process where actually we should not look for the truth in order to keep a certain process of development? No, always maintain the right direction. Yes, lady, thank you. My friend is asking, Fran, can we appreciate the labour of the friend as an indication of our gratitude towards the Creator? Didn't understand. Can we say that our appreciation of the Xerian, the efforts of my friend, is an indication of her gratitude towards the Creator? Yes, thanks. They're off through their convention. We felt a great strength from the woman to support us. How do we develop use that strength when you're going to our own tense? We keep going, we continue. That's it. Yes, thank you. You said that gratitude helps us uplift the importance of the Creator in our eyes. Gratitude is not always give any equal measures within the 10. Some friends will remember, some want some, and scenes never think about it. Let's say I can't remember, but my friend does it raise the importance for all of us inside the time? In other words, can we compensate for each other? Can thank you. Yes, we can. Jakob, you wanted to ask. You said that a person is negligent on the path. The next moment is not the way it should be. I'm asking because sometimes it seems that there is more negligence or failures than success. Is there a way, nevertheless, to make up for these moments when we fail? Or there will be a way to redeem and correct it. Another question about holding on, maintaining the straight line. You said that when there are various influences on a person, he should try to maintain a straight line. Sometimes these influences create such a state where it's not even clear what does it mean to go straight. So besides the word connection, because the word connection also sometimes loses its internality when we work so hard, what can I hold on to for certain so that this straight won't become too blurred in inside the 10? Only strengthen our connection with the 10 and awaken them to that connection as well. There's no other means. Yes, ma'am. How can I know precisely what is the connection between us? What exactly is the connection between us? How can I know that? You will know that later, because that connection will become revealed. She's asking also if there's a Way to know that I'm on the straight path, on the correct path in the meantime, yeah. You don't feel it, but I'm telling you. Yes, soon you will begin to identify that connection on your own. Thank you, that's it. Give it to the lady there with the hand. He always, she always asks how to become incorporated in a common desire in the best possible way and to transform the results of their congress to gratitude towards the Creator. Think about it frequently, and then the decision will. What are we doing next? We can go to excerpt number 2. Excerpt number 2. Rarish writes, in every beginning a person must start over the acceptance of the kingdom of heaven. It is not enough that yesterday he had faith in the Creator. For this reason, every acceptance of the kingdom of heaven is considered a new discernment, that is now he receives a part of the vacant space that was devoid of the kingdom of heaven, and admit that empty place and fills it with the kingdom of heaven. It follows that now he sorted out a new thing which did not exist before. He took that empty place and filled it with the kingdom of heaven. This is regarded as raising a new spark into the kata. Finally, from all the ascents he always raises sparks from the empty place into their Kori. Thus from each and every descent he comes to a new beginning and raises new sparks. This is why we need to appreciate the descents, because it's like we dig and then we bring up what we've got from the descent. Questions? No. Yes, we talked before about the communication of the person with the Creator about gratitude. He also links it immediately with the 10, so it doesn't remain just in him, and together with the 10 again, gr2 the Creator. Again, this kind of communication all the time. Here he says that specifically in the state of descent one takes the sparks, how not to lose his communication. Specifically in the time of descent he wants to remain in the same direction that he determined before, and that is what now shapes him and main and stabilizes him. And so also during the descent he tries not to fall from the control of the Creator over him, and that's what's holding. That's what is holding him. So even though I am now in the worst possible state, I thankful to the Creator for still being in not completely lost my head, my knowledge, my feeling that this reality that I'm in, spirituality, even though it is this reality drags me in all directions, I hold this as my degree. So here exactly comes the question, because we started this whole lesson with the shield. What is this shield that keeps a person from losing his connection with the Creator, specifically in the time when it's most necessary? And during a descent I want to be connected to the Creator.